video in probably over 3 weeks, and it's basically just been because I've been so tired and just honestly, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally exhausted. This has been 6 months during this whole cancer diagnosis, surgery, treatment, just everything, and it's very tiring, and it's very easy to get depressed during it. If you've never watched any of my videos before, I just basically make these videos to try to help give advice to anybody from my experiences who may be going through this or who will be going through this one day, and hope maybe you can find this and find some type of help through it. And I try to be encouraging, but I want to be real with you about, my feelings and emotions through it, and help you to try not to feel so alone and to feel like somebody understands and somebody cares. This isn't really an easy video to make. I want to talk to you about hair loss with cancer, and that's really hard for a woman. And before I get to that, I do want to tell you, with chemo brain is a real thing. It's easy to forget things and sometimes really hard to remember things and focus on stuff. So I'm not really sure if I even made a video about when I had to have my port taken out and had to have a new one put in. But I do want to let you all know, in case I scared anybody and made you afraid of your port surgery, if you watched that, I do want to let you know that my second surgery for my port went wonderfully. I had a general surgeon put it in, and the first port surgery took almost 45 minutes. This time it took 8 minutes, and I will tell you what made it different. The difference is I was so nervous. I asked him if I could have my earbud in and could play a song, and just to try to encourage myself during it and focus on the song. And she said I could, so I put it in my left ear so I could hear her in my right ear. And the surgeon, the song I played was Phil Wickham, It's Always Been You. That song it's my favorite song right now. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. I think it would really bless you and encourage you. But I had that on, and I had it on repeat, and it took the surgeon 8 minutes to do the surgery. And then, of course, I went down to the recovery, and I cried in recovery because I was so relieved, because the first time was really bad, and this time I really don't want to say any type of surgical procedure was wonderful, but this one went as wonderful as I could expect it to go. And I do want to show you, if you can see it, this is the new place where she put my port, and you can see the scar. And then this is my old scar, which you can see the new one it looks like it's healed better than the old one. So she did a really good job with it. And I know you can see that where that's going to my vein, but I've heard people say that you get used to having a port, and you get used to feeling that kind of like tug in your neck where that is, the catheter. I don't know how you get used to it. I guess, with time maybe, but it's not the most comfortable thing. Even, sleeping, turning your neck, you can feel that pull, and it's a very strange feeling. I don't know that I could get used to that, or to even seeing that. It just kind of freaks me out a little bit. But I wanted to, jumping ahead of myself, I just wanted to kind of talk to you about that first, in case I scared anybody and had you worried about your surgery for your port, just my advice, make sure you tell your surgeon to give you as many lidocaine injections around where they're going to be putting the port as possible, because it really makes a big difference. And plus, they gave me medicine through the IV. But be sure and tell them that, because that's what made a big difference for me, is not feeling it, not having that pain. So I just wanted to tell you about that first. Okay, with the chemo, the most dreaded side effect for most women is hair loss. And for me, that was a huge one. Not every chemo causes you to lose your hair, so your oncologist will tell you if that is one of your side effects. My oncologist, when he was discussing with me the side effects I would have during my chemo, he said, you're going to lose all your beautiful hair. So I knew that was going to be part of my treatment. And basically, if you know that you want to wear a wig during chemo, my advice, or when you lose your hair, my advice is to go to a wig shop and try on wigs before you lose your hair, if you want something similar to the hair that you have. It made it easier for me to go to a wig shop and try it on and be able to leave with my own hair on my head than to go in with no hair trying it on. It made a big difference. I know it would have been harder for me to go in with no hair on my head and trying on wigs. So that would just be my advice. When I went to the only wig shop I've been to, when I went in, the first time I went was after my first port surgery. And I remember walking in, and I've never been in a wig store before. And there were people in there that had headfuls of hair, and they were just, buying extensions and the toppers. And the ladies that worked there saw my port, where it was bandaged up, because I just came from having it put in. So they knew, what I was there for. And they just walked around and just picked different wigs and tried them on. And I tried one on that they had picked out, and I looked like I was getting ready to hit the stage at the Grand Ole Opry and sing. I laughed at myself in the mirror. I was like, this is not me. I couldn't take myself seriously in this thing. It would look good on somebody else, but it just didn't look good on me. And I tried a few other ones on that looked really pretty, but they didn't feel right on me. So that would be one piece of advice I would give you, is if you do know you don't want to just walk around, and just embrace your bald head, you want to wear a wig or whatever it is, a scarf, I would advise you to do that. I think it will make a big difference, and it will make it an easier transition for you. Also, you can get a lot of these things on the little scarves on Amazon, Etsy, whatever. And I've got a lot of these. They're really comfortable. And I got some of the silk, like sleeping hats. I wear those to bed, and I always moisturize my head really good. But basically, I'm trying to keep my focus here. Remember, chemo brain. Basically, I noticed my hair started to fall out on my son's birthday. And that was 14 days after my first chemo treatment. And I could just, do like this, and a big handful would come out, and it was continuous. So it was his birthday, and I just put my hair in a braid, and to try to, I didn't want it just hanging down and falling out everywhere. I braided it and just was focused on having his birthday and celebrating him. And then the next day, it was still falling out in big clumps. And for me, I thought it would be easier to, I knew I was going to lose it. It would have hurt me more to just watch it fall out. So when, the next day, the 15th day after my first chemo treatment, I went into my bathroom. I had I had hair clippers that I cut my son's hair with, and I turned on my praise music. It was The Battle Belongs by Phil Wickham. Of course, I'm sure you know now that he's my favorite singer. His music has just really blessed me and encouraged me throughout my life. So I turned on Battle Belongs, and I prayed, and I told the Lord, I don't understand what the reason is for me to have to go through this, for to have to go through the surgeries, to have to go through the side effects that I'm going to face with chemo, and to be stripped from my hair. And it kind of just tags along with other things I've been through in my life. And not to say that cancer is not hard, it's very hard, but I think when you've been through other really hard things, that it makes it harder to understand the more hard things you go through. So I just prayed in the bathroom and told the Lord how I felt, and that I didn't understand the purpose, but I trusted Him, and just to help me to deal with this in a way that honors Him and pleases Him. And I got the clippers and I cut my hair, and then I swept it up and put it into a little bag, and I put on one of my scarves. And it's your own personal decision if you decide to shave your head or if you want to let it fall out. That's up to you. That's just what I did, because I would rather, it hurt me so much to just feel it just coming out handfuls, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So I thought it would be easier for me just to shave it. And for me, I don't, there are women that go around and, bald with their bald heads. They embrace it. I'm not that woman. I want to have my head covered. I want to have hair. I love my hair. If I don't have a wig on or anything like that, I have a scarf on. The one thing I do, that was important to me, and I'm not saying that it's not right for you. It's just, for me, I didn't want my kids to see me like that. I didn't want them to see me with a bald head, because it was already hard enough for them to know that I had cancer, to know all the side effects of cancer and the symptoms that you have and how sick you feel and all that. And I just wanted to, I don't want them to have that image in their mind of seeing me with no hair on my head. So I always wear a scarf around them. I always, or a wig around them. And I will tell you, you can find some on Amazon, just like to wear around the house or outside working. I had a really cute one that it's like a ball, like a hat that has hair attached to it, and I mean it's good to wear if you just want to, just go out or just go out and work in your yard or just sit in the yard or whatever. Just it's easy, just throw it on and go. But it's a very hard thing to go through, to lose your hair and to have been through the surgery for breast cancer. It's very easy to get depressed. I've struggled a lot with depression. I can feel it like coming on me at times, and it's important to find something that you can do that gives you peace. And for me, that is being outside. I have chickens, and as crazy as this sounds, if you are a chicken owner, you will understand. I find them to be very comical, and it's very peaceful to me to be outside and to be around them and just watching their personalities, and just they make me laugh. And I love to be outside with the sun shining down. And when you have chemo, your body hurts so bad, and it helps me so much to be outside when the sun's shining, and with a breeze blowing, and just seeing all the things that God created. That helps me so much. That's like medicine for my soul. So find something that helps you. Find something that gives you peace. And to me, it's to be in nature, to see things that God created. Even if it's my crazy chickens just being hilarious, or if it's just the sun shining down and feeling, the heat from the sun that God put up in the sky on my skin, and it just kind of takes away some of the aches that I have from chemo. Just find something that gives you some peace, because it's so easy to get depressed during this. And, I want to be really encouraging, but I want to be real with you. I don't want to put on, an act and act like, oh, well, I'm so strong and so wonderful and whatever. It's very easy to get depressed during chemo, and you don't feel like yourself. You want to do things, that you normally do. I've always enjoyed, working out in my yard and playing with my kids. And when you are, you spend days where you hurt so bad that you cry, your stomach is just, your stomach doesn't know what it wants to do. I mean, one minute you feel like you need to go to the bathroom, the next minute you're throwing up. It's and then when for me, I take a bath in Epsom salt, and that helps a lot with the aches and pains. But when you get out of the bathtub, you don't even really recognize yourself because your hair's gone. So don't feel like it's vain if you miss those things, if you miss your hair, if your scars bother you. Don't feel like, well, I should be happy that I'm alive, or I should be. Yeah, we should be thankful for a lot of things, but we are human, and don't make yourself try to be Wonder Woman. Whatever emotions you feel them, cry, let it out, and then you have to keep moving on. That's what we have to do. And this cancer is such a fast journey. It's like everything just starts so quick, and you don't even have time to process it. So, and I know I've heard people say they feel guilty for missing their hair. Don't feel guilty for that, because that's part of who you are. And don't let people tell you, well, it'll grow back. Yeah, it'll grow back. That's easy to say, but a year, 2 years, however long it takes you to get your hair back to where it was, it's still hard. So I just want you to know that if you're feeling any of those things, I understand, because I've struggled a lot with feeling depressed, and the best thing for me is when God gives us a beautiful sunny day and I can go outside and I can sit in my yard and just enjoy the beautiful things that God created us and that He gives us to enjoy. And God understands all the feelings that we have. If it bothers us, it's important to Him. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you and let you know. I am a Christian, but I do struggle with depression. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you don't get depressed. I did have, I've had a lot of bad days, but on my good days, honestly, I could spend them just sitting out in my yard the whole day, and I would be so, so happy, because just hearing the birds singing and just everything in nature that only God could make makes me so happy. It makes me feel close to Him. It makes me feel peaceful, and just find something that makes you feel that way. Maybe being out in nature, maybe you're the same way, and being outside and in nature helps you to feel that way. If it does, then do that and try that. And I don't want to make this too long, but I just want you to know that you're not alone in any way that you feel about losing your hair, if that is part of your side effects. And I have had people ask me about cold capping. You can do that. That is an option to help you from losing all your hair, but I will make a video about why I decided not to do that. But for you, it's a hard time to get through. You've been through a lot. Surgery, all the tests, the test results that you didn't want to hear, telling family members that you didn't want to hurt, you didn't want to put more on them. Seeing yourself and not feeling like yourself, it's really hard. So don't make things harder on yourself by feeling like you're vain or you're selfish for missing your hair or having the surgeries and missing what you had. I just don't, I just want you to know you're cared about, and you may not feel it. You may not feel like it, but when you go through things like cancer and you don't feel beautiful, you don't feel like yourself, I think God looks down and I think He sees you, and I think He thinks you are so beautiful. And if I could, just give you one piece of advice, it would be get alone with Him and talk to Him. And I pray that you know Him. I pray that you have a relationship with Jesus, because I'm a Christian, and as hard as it's been on me, it has to be harder on somebody that doesn't have the Lord to lean on and to give them a peace in the midst of chaos. So that would be my advice to you, and I just want you to know that whatever feelings you're having, I understand. I have them too. Find something, if you start feeling depressed, find something that gives you some type of peace. Just like, I said mine is being out in nature. Find something that gives you peace. And most importantly, talk to the Lord. He can handle every emotion that you have. And He can do something with what you're going through. I don't know anybody else that can turn a mess into something that's beautiful except the Lord. And I'm not going to make this any longer. I just want you to know that I love you. You're very loved. You're loved by God. He's with you. And I hope that you find something that gives you peace during all this. Something that you can do that gives you peace, no matter what it is. If it's painting or, I love to paint and color and things like that. Whatever it is, I hope you find something that gives you some joy. And I hope you know the Lord. I hope you'll get alone and spend some time with Him and pour your heart out to Him. And I guess that's all I really wanted to talk to you about today. I will, make another one about the code capping, because I had been asked that about that before. And I apologize for not making videos earlier than now. I've just been really tired, and like I said, I'm just being honest. Really struggled with depression lately. I try to keep, read and listen to my praise music, and try to, encourage myself. And I do have, some really encouraging people in my life. But I just want to be real with you about everything, so that I don't want to put on a fake, like, wow, she's so awesome, she's so tough, she's going through this and she's so encouraging. No, I've been very depressed, to be honest with you. But I know who I belong to. I know He is very well aware of where I am. He's very well aware of the things that trouble me. And there's lyrics to a song that I've loved for a long time. And it says, "There's no place that I can go where my God doesn't know the things that trouble me." And, during this, I know He knows every single thing, even things that I may not have shared with somebody else. He knows what troubles me, and He cares, and the same goes for you. He knows what troubles you, and He cares about it. So I hope that you will spend some time with Him and talk to Him. You don't have to be in church to talk to Him. You can be in your house. You can be outside. I love to be outside and pray. I think my favorite thing in the world to do is to sit outside and talk to the Lord, just like you would talk to a friend sitting beside you. If it's nighttime, to walk outside and talk to Him about things that are troubling me, or just to tell Him I don't, when it all hits you, I've been going through this for 6 months and I'm so tired, and I'm so tired of seeing my kids worry about me. To be able to go outside and to be able to pour all that out to somebody that loves you so much, and somebody that is able to take that brokenness and make it into something that's beautiful. That is such a gift, and that's something that He offers to all of us. I just hope you'll get along with Him and talk to Him. And I love you, and I hope you will find some peace during this. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about, or any questions you have, you can write me, you can comment, or whatever. I'm an open book, like I always tell you. And I will make another video about the code capping, because I know I had some people ask about that, and I've meant to do that, but like I said, just it's very tiring. And I love you. God loves you. He's for you. He's not against you. And I pray that you find some peace today. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.